Hello, how y'all doing? You ain't gonna believe this. They are saying Meek Mills, he was Jay-Z's boy toy. Now we all knew that Meek Mills was Diddy's boy toy. We heard the video. If you have not heard it, it is gross. It's a video that's going around on social media of Diddy making Meek Mills his power bottom. We all know how Diddy did TD Jakes. They are out here calling TD Jakes the power bottom king. Think of how crazy that is, right? And they're saying that Nicki Minaj, she knew all about it. And it makes sense because do you guys remember when Nicki Minaj, she kept on asking all these men rappers about down low men? She was obsessed with down low men. And I understand why, because her ex Meek Mills was definitely one of those men, allegedly. And she always looked up to Jay-Z. And to come to find out the man that you look up to is smashing your ex, oh my goodness. Whew, I tell you, it is crazy out here in these Hollywood streets. I'm telling you. Okay, so I want you guys to watch this video. I think it's very interesting what they say about Nicki Minaj, Meek Mills, Jay-Z, and Diddy. And this is a mess. It's a mess. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. So let's see what they got to say.
Just getting Nicki when you hear the music. The other stuff is work, and some of it is play. I mean, let's face it. This is my fucking job. I have to have some sort of fun. Like, if it means, picking fun.
Last week, they ruled for me to have a new trial to review the case that I was initially put on probation for. I got a label deal with Jay-Z the same day. I got the news the same day. So, because I come from DMX, Jay-Z, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, Nas, all that era right there. Like, I mean, how can I possibly be coming with some?
So get this, Nicki Minaj has just dropped a massive bomb that is dragging some major names down pretty bad. Y'all, it's not only messy, but also unbelievable. And the famous names caught in this mess? Meek Mill and Jay-Z. Nicki is claiming that Meek and Jay-Z have been messing around in a rather inappropriate way, causing a huge storm all over the music industry. Is Meek really Jay's little something on the side? Well, lock in as we try to get to the bottom of this huge scandal. So there are definitely many layers to this fiasco. It wasn't all hate and accusations from the start, nope. Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj were once very close to each other. The two rappers had a professional relationship where they worked together on many projects, releasing big hits under the record labels Maybach Music Group and Cash Money Records. It wasn't long before these two finally hooked up and ended up dating for a while back in 2015 all through to 2017. Yup, these two famous rappers were so in love, publicly proclaiming their love to each other all over social media.
For you to turn around on stage last night and tell Nicki you love her, and for Nicki to do the same thing, that was a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it's like a regular people moment, you know what I'm saying? Usually we be on Instagram and stuff sometimes, but
photos to Instagram on Wednesday showing off a massive diamond ring that has us wondering if she's officially off the market. She tagged her boyfriend, rapper Meek Mill, and wrote in the caption, "Now this is what I'm talking about, baby. LOL, love you."
Man, these two just couldn't get enough of each other. They were pictured together endless times, hanging out and having fun together, always being so chummy and lovey-dovey towards each other. They attended many shows together, always being pictured hand in hand in the many red carpet events they graced together. And that's not all. These two lovebirds even released more songs together, with their biggest hit being All Eyes on You, featuring Chris Brown, which topped the charts in no time. These two were living the life, the fairy tale dream. Well, as many Hollywood relationships always are, Nicki and Meek's relationship took an awfully familiar path, and the two finally broke up. And God, was it nasty. These two did not part ways amicably at all. After their nasty breakup, these two kept blasting each other all over Instagram and Twitter, airing their dirty laundry to the whole world to see. It was evident they were both still bitter and resentful towards each other, and they made no effort to hide it.
And I'll wear that title proudly, too.
The Anaconda rapper has called it quits with boyfriend Meek Mill, taking to social media Thursday morning to set the record straight on split rumors. Nicki tweeted to confirm, yes, I am single.
It wasn't long before Nicki began seeing other people. And well, Meek was livid. Nicki always claimed that Meek wasn't over her, even admitting that Meek tried to reach out to her while she had started dating Nas. Was hung up on Nicki, but she wasn't having it at all. She even blasted him horribly on her hit song Barbie Dreams, saying he was still lurking in her DMs. Not a very good look for the self-proclaimed hood rapper, if you ask me. This beef between them brewed for a long time, with both of them dropping some major tea that tainted both the rappers' careers.
He thinks that Meek is still in love with me.
Well,
While we were together.
well, this gets very tangled on. Okay, is Meek really still in your DMs?
Absolutely.
Now, when you say in the DMs, you say like hollering? He should. I don't see why. There's nothing wrong with that, though, right?
All the men in here are saying, I would.
Well, it's no news that Meek and Jay-Z have a professional relationship, with them working on various songs together. The two powerhouses have a great impact in the rap industry, releasing huge collaborations such as What's Free, which also featured Rick Ross, and this song blew waves all over the industry. They have continued to work together through the years and have even taken things a notch higher with venturing into business together. Yup. These two have decided to go on a joint venture together, recently launching Meek Mill's new record label called Dream Chasers label, which has a joint association with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. This is a huge move for the two rappers, especially Meek, as he considers it his legacy to the next generation.
Seat, you could say, to music mogul Jay-Z signing a new business partnership with hip-hop artist Meek Mill. It's a big deal. The two artists are announcing Mill's new record label. It's called Dream Chasers. It's a joint venture with Jay-Z's Rock Nation. And it's the beginning of a new chapter for the 32-year-old rapper, you could say.
In an interview with CBS News, both Hav and Meek describe why they decided to join forces. Hav, being as business savvy as he is, said that it was finally their time to get the bigger share of the cake. They were done being underdogs, saying that they were not shining shoes anymore. It was evident these two wanted a spot at the top, and Hav was lifting Meek up to greater heights, just as he claimed.
The music and the culture that we create, we've been giving it away for so long, which is understandable. We gotta start somewhere, gotta clean the floors up before we own the building, but we don't shine shoes anymore.
Meek goes on to talk about Jay-Z and the impact the mogul has had on his life and career. He describes Hav as the GOAT, saying working with him was a dream come true as he has always looked up to Jay on both a musical level and a business level. He goes on to describe how they both have been through the same stuff, the same hustle, and how this joint venture is meant to nurture and uplift young talent in the hood and also promote their culture. The two are set to inspire and nurture the next generation of artists, a move many consider absolutely amazing.
Dream to me, coming in the music industry, of course you always the people you admire. There's not too many people I admire like on a music level and a business level, on a as a man level. So doing business with Hov is like, I always, even when we talk, I always explain it to him.
On top of all this, Meek and Jay seem to have an amicable relationship outside work as well. They both attended the Black Billionaires Lunch that was hosted by P. Diddy, which was basically a celebration of Black men and the success they had achieved. They were all seen having fun and toasting drinks, a good picture of the unity all these successful Black men are trying to harbor within the industry.
We keep standing together. We getting tighter. Saying, united we stand, and ain't nothing else to us.
Wondering where all this spectacle between these three celebrities hit? Well, it all boils down to Jay's studio album, 444, which he released in 2017, the same year Nicki and Meek Mill called it quits on their relationship. The album was a huge success, debuting at #1 on the US Billboard 200 with 262,000 album equivalent units in the first week. The album went platinum in 6 days, becoming Hav's 14th album to top the charts. Ain't that something? And as you might have guessed, Meek was definitely vibing to this album as well. Hard. It was evident from all the posts he made about it. And somehow this did not sit well with Nicki. The baddie finally got fed up with seeing Meek going on and on about the album, and you guessed it, she decided to get shady. Nicki took to Instagram where she made a post that completely obliterated Meek. She posted a group picture with a controversial caption, saying that Meek and Jay are now just sitting there acting all wifey, brewing all these rumors about Jay and Meek, with some people blowing it way further, claiming Nicki was saying the two had an intimate relationship. Foul indeed.
And she says, oh, so you niggas gonna sit up here and act like wifey? Ain't been tell y'all #1? Don't lose the baddest girl in the world? Eric Benet? #2, Stop throwing money your ass ain't really got.
And that wasn't all. She went on to bash Meek in the caption, saying he made a mistake of letting a baddie like her go. She also hit below the belt by telling Meek to stop flaunting all those bands he does in his socials, saying he doesn't even have all that money. The bad girl insinuated that when she said posting all that money on his socials was corny, it was dismissed, but when Hob said the same, it was the Bible.
3, stop posting them tired stacks on the gram. Oh, but when Jay say it, it's Bible though. Bad bitches unite. We ain't been dropping jewels on these niggas behind closed doors. Every girl is making one of these 3 faces at a nigga.
Now let's back up a bit to the album. In his songs, Hob advocates for financial literacy and talks about flipping money to make more for yourself is the ultimate best route. He also calls out the rappers and peeps who post stacks of money all over social media, saying that there is a clear disconnect and that they don't call that money over there. Now this blow surely was a hit to Meek, as Meek is always on his socials posting stacks and stacks. He's posted many photos of him with the famous money phone, the exact behavior Jay was calling out. Well, it seems Nicki got fed up with Meek's double standard, with him claiming to be a die-hard fan of the album, but still doing the corny shit Jay was against. And this sparked a huge controversy all over social media. Meek definitely looked like a little hypocrite, and Nicki made sure everyone knew of his corny behavior. The girl was definitely out for blood, a woman scorned indeed. As you would expect, Meek was never going to take all this hate lying down. Definitely not. Meek has never backed out from a social media feud, and he wasn't about to start now. Meek took the war even further, throwing terrible shade towards his ex. He called her out for being fake, commenting on her fake hair, fake nails, fake skin, fake ass, fake lashes, among others. That was a pretty low blow from Meek, not gonna lie. Very ironic indeed.
Mill, he says, yo, when they gonna come out with a CD about all the shit these fake bitches be doing. Fake skin color, fake lashes, fake weaves, fake ass.
Meek basically said that nobody was speaking out on all these women's fakeness, which they have tried to rebrand as being a baddie. And if no one was going to speak on it, he would. And you know, this definitely raised an uproar all over the net. Those were shots directly fired at Nicki, but that was, however, very hypocritical of Meek. He's here bad-mouthing Nicki and all, but he consciously knew Nicki had a fake ass and liked weaves and long nails when he decided to date her. Come on, Meek, pick a side, my guy. All this mess was just a reaction to Nicki not wanting Meek back, and Nicki was also very bitter about Meek publicly disrespecting her. This is just the classic script of a relationship going wrong, and it's no surprise that these two decided to follow the same familiar script. Low road for the both of them, and everyone was here for it. However, despite all this hate and controversy, Meek Mill is still showing major support to Jay-Z. The two joined forces to make Dream Chasers happen, like we mentioned earlier, and Meek is also showing his support towards Hob in the wake of his controversial legal troubles. Now, you all know that Jay has had a very tough year, with Tony Busby filing a civil lawsuit against him. A Jane Doe has come out accusing Jay-Z and Puff Daddy of saying her back in 2000 when she was only 13 years old. She claims this went down in an after-party she attended after the MTV VMAs.
On your life. A 38-year-old mother from Alabama who has filed a lawsuit accusing Sean Diddy Combs and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old is speaking out to NBC News for the first time. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
These allegations are pretty damaging, career-ending even, and Jay is in a tight spot at this point. He outrightly denied all those claims, saying nothing like that went down. He even went as far as accusing Tony Busby of extortion, saying Busby only wanted a payout from all of this drama. Jay is adamant, saying he won't pay even a cent to the lawyer in a statement he released after he was hit with the charges. Hob even slapped Busby with a lawsuit in retaliation to all of this. Fire for fire, it seems.
Busby, the Texas attorney who vowed to file over 120 lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, is now facing a lawsuit himself, this time from a prominent figure accusing him of extortion on the receiving end of a lawsuit. A person who is staying anonymous, only known as John Doe, has accused Busby of trying to get money by making up false stories about serious crimes like sexual assault and threatening to tell the public, basically filing lawsuits if he doesn't get paid. This is essentially extortion.
And Meek is sticking by the star. He has been very local about this lawsuit on Twitter, saying that this is all a plot to bring down the famous rapper. He posted that this was a false narrative that had been started to create a matrix web, a matrix that they wanted to control everyone with. He went on to say that this was a clear plan to tarnish Hob and other successful black rappers, bringing them down. And a lot of y'all actually agree with him. He's sticking with Hob all through, showing his loyalty and support to his fellow ally, a stand that is quite admirable of Meek. It's clear as rain that Nicki does not mess with Meek anymore, and the two have a botched relationship that will be truly impossible to fix. Their social media war didn't stop with the posts we've already talked about. Yes, these two continued throwing shade on each other, constantly engaging in heated exchanges on Twitter. Meek even brought up the case concerning Nicki's brother, who is currently incarcerated for the SA of a young one. Meek said Nicki knew about the SA, and that was the reason Meek left her.
Then Meek responded, "The only way you can try to kill my career is to say I beat women. Talk about your brother, convicted of rape. And you been knew and paid for his lawyer. Your little brother touched that little girl too. You know I know. You want me to crash with your boyfriend and I won't. You said you willing to crash your man because you losing now. And everybody in the industry know you a bad person. You been knew your brother was raping that little girl. That's why I got away from you."
Nicki has also kept throwing punches at Meek, going aura for aura with him. She replied that Meek's tweet on the SA was in bad taste, but she called it an alleged SA, which did not sit well with many people in the public. Nicki has also claimed that Meek is not over her, constantly telling him to move on and leave her out of his sorry life. Meek has a track record of intimidating Nicki's concurrent boyfriends, always making snarky comments on Instagram and Twitter. He even went as far as sending hired goons to rough up Nicki's ex, Safari, a move which a lot of fans deemed below the belt. He also had a feud with Nicki's husband online, and it is quite clear with this pattern that he indeed was not. Nicki, however, seems to have moved on completely, getting married and moving on with her life smoothly. In various interviews, she was asked if there was any hope of her and Meek fixing things, and she had quite a lot to say. She said that she didn't care about Meek and that he was nothing to her. She, however, admitted that Meek reached out and tried to bury the hatchet, and that they are indifferent to each other now. She said that she is not a shady person who takes the low road, but that she just matches the energy someone brings her way.
And I know he was hurt. You know, he was like, "Look, this was my first time being in love, and I didn't know how to handle it." And at a certain point, you have to forgive. You know.
Yeah.
And I have forgiven him because he has come genuinely to me.
Well, it's evident that this beef between Nicki and Meek was all just a response to them breaking up, a trend we've witnessed way too many times. Jay-Z unfortunately just caught some strays from all this mess, but the big dog doesn't seem fazed at all. It, however, looks like these two exes are trying to put their differences aside, moving on with their lives. And that is exactly how it should be. So what are your thoughts on this scandal? Are Nicki's words the truth, or is she just bitter for being kicked to the...
Whew, I tell you, it is a mess. Y'all can't tell? I can see he was very feminine. Even when he raps, that high-pitched voice, it's not a real man's voice like GMX. Now, that was a real man. But Meek Mills, how you doing? I can see it. And he seems to be so emotional and jumping around in his walk. You see how he walk? I mean, just the mannerism, I can tell, you know? And it's sad that so many people can't tell. They don't even know the signs, honey. Comment, I want to know your thoughts about this. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe here at the Messy Sweet Spot. And I'll see you guys on the next upload.